Swag drip drip, everybody tripping, slipping on my drip. Got swag and we drip. Got swag and we drip.
Welcome back, Swagteam. It's your boy, the Swagologist, back again with another SwagU TV review, and today we are doing
Gotta get that first shot up before that bullet hit me.
the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3. Now, I like this episode because it's more of a episode that makes you think. It's not necessarily a lot of action. It would have made the episode 10 times better if there was like at least one really good action scene. There was a little bit of action here with Sharon, but it wasn't amazing. And of course, if you haven't realized by now, this is a full review. So if you haven't seen the episode, make sure you go get on your Disney Plus and check that thing out, or however you watch your shows, and come back and let's get into it. But yes, this episode starts off with the GRC commercial for the GRC, the Global Repatriate. Y'all know what it says. This says it right there. Committee or council, what you know what it says. Okay, it's right there. I'm drawing a blank right now, because the R word is messing me up. But y'all know how to say it. Don't at me. But anyways, but this episode is all about everything is more than it seems, or there's more than BCI. Not Transformers related, but still, there's more. There's like a lot of gray area in this episode between good and evil, hero and villain, icon, the dictator. It's just a lot of gray area. This episode should be called Gray Area, but what it's actually called is Power Broker. And what ends up happening is, yes, as the end, like the last episode stated, we were going to see Zemo, but like I said, the beginning of this episode starts off with GRC trying to show that it's helping the planet and it loves you and it wants to set you back into the world. But then the next shot you see is the GRC's police. Why does the GRC have a police, first of all? And then they open the hatch door, and of course it's Captain Douche, man. Freaking Captain Douche, man. John Walker as Captain America. Yeah, right. Captain America, for sure, is out and about. And we see how the world sees this Captain America and America as a whole. I think this is also a metaphor of how some countries look at America as itself. But we see the interaction between him and one of the people at that internet cafe that the Flag Smasher was hiding out at in the last episode. We see that John Walker and Battlestar know where the bread, they have a little bit of breadcrumbs, they just don't have the full, sandwich, of course. So they go in there and they question this guy, and this guy is like not feeling it at all, and he actually spits in John Walker's face. That's what he deserves, but that's not the point. I don't think anybody really deserves to get spit in the face, but this guy, I'll make an exception. But the thing is about John is that, like if Steve walked in a room, that same room, asked these same questions, he would have never got spit in the face on. Never. I don't care how they look at America, blah, blah, blah. There is a metaphor for that in this specific episode, obviously. But Steve would have never got spit in the face because people respect Captain America. They respect our Cap. They respect Captain America. This guy, though, no respect at all. Don't care about him. The dude is faking that knowing him. Well, he never even said he didn't know English. Of course, sometimes people assume, like John Walker, and the dude just like, he went too straight to English when he was like, because when he spit in dude's face, John Walker was like, "Do you know who I am?" He's like, "Yeah, I know exactly who you are. I don't care." Because you're not Cap. You're Captain America or Captain Douche. One of the two. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, so that was interesting, and we could just see that John Walker is he's not supposed to be Cap, man. This dude is Captain America, and he is really starting to unravel. You could see it, and even later on in the episode, you could tell that Battlestar might not be feeling too comfortable with said guy. Transition to Bucky and Sam, and because they realize they don't have the right play, and they got to go with somebody that has a better plan, and then they switch it a better hand. And I like how they switched it to Bucky and Sam, because a little bit of that is Bucky has a vibranium hand, you know what I'm saying? So obviously he has a better hand. And then, you know, obviously they have a little bit better, but not so by the book way of getting this information. They're going to talk to Baron Zemo. Now, I like Daniel Bruhl acting in this episode. I also really love Baron Zemo, the character in this episode. I find it interesting that the route they take, but first they, like I said, Bucky and Sam are going to see him, and Sam is starting to trust Bucky more, because he ends up letting him go with Baron by himself. Now me, I would have been like, no bro, you're not going in there by yourself. Either I'm gonna have to be around the corner, something like that. I gotta be at least close, you know, by, you know what I'm saying, in the vicinity. I can't just let you just go in there by yourself, dog. But he'd had to be super convincing. And when he talked to Sam, it didn't seem too convincing to me, to be honest, for me to be like, all right, I'll let you go talk to him by yourself. But he ended up trusting him enough to talk to him by himself. They end up having a conversation. But the first things that Zemo does is start saying those famous words that turned him to the Winter Soldier. But as we all well know, Wakanda has broken that that break in his brain, and now those words mean nothing. They won't change him at all. That time of his life is done, at least being able to be manipulated by words, because Wakanda has healed him from that, which we all love. Wakanda forever, you already know. But anyways, so he ends up talking to him, and they come up with a way to figure out how to help each other, because Bucky brings up the fact that there are Super Soldier Serum is out and about, and that definitely is something that Zemo would like to know about, because he doesn't like the Super Soldier Serum. Of course, he hates Captain America. He hates what happened with the Avengers, because they killed, you know, his family and destroyed Sokovia, and he doesn't, you know, he doesn't like the Super Soldier Serum. He feels like that should not exist at all. That's why he killed all those super soldiers in Civil War, instead of just releasing them. Like at first the Avengers thought he was releasing them to wreak havoc, but no, he wanted to kill all of them and, you know, break the Avengers and make them destroy themselves within. We go to seeing Bucky with Sam, and Sam's like, we're not breaking him out of prison. I don't know what what's going on, what he said to you, but that's not happening. And then they do a really cool way of breaking Zemo out of prison by Sam talking about, let me give you a hypothetical. And then he tells him how he's going to break him out, how he does it, and then they break him out. And I really like the way they did that with that. And I knew as soon as he said, let me give you a hypothetical, I'm like, he broke him out of prison already, dude. Poor Sam, man. So we end up getting Zemo, and I find it interesting that somehow Zemo has always been rich. Or at least royalty. His family is royalty or whatever. Now he says it in the episode. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I've only watched it once and came straight to camera, but I need to watch it again just so I can hear what he said exactly, to try to understand how he was like royalty, because he didn't feel like there was nothing about his character in Civil War that gave off any hints of him being royalty. I mean, that doesn't mean he wasn't or anything like that, and you know, maybe he was just sick of it and wanted to chill, or maybe he felt so bad about what was going on with his family he didn't want to release that. But you would think if he is royalty that Tony would, you know this, or, you know, because all the brilliant minds up in that building, Cap, definitely Tony, Bruce, Shuri, somebody would figure that out. You know what I mean? But no one. It's okay. Whatever. Minor nitpick, doesn't matter. I like the fact that he is royalty. He's just basically an evil Batman or something, or an evil Tony Stark for that matter. You know what I mean? He got his own jet plane. He has a butler. The butler's cool with all Zemo's evil antics and jokes and stuff, because their exchange was funny. But I found that interesting about Zemo's character. But Zemo, many a times through this whole episode, had plenty of times to just leave and exit and leave the group, but he always came back, and I found that interesting. I'm still trying to figure out why. Why is he staying with them if he could easily leave? I think maybe it's because he knows with them together, that's the best way to find the serum, the Super Soldier Serum, and that's when he's going to make his play to actually leave, is once he gets the Super Serum for his own and either destroy it or take one for himself and then leave everybody else out. And he's like, no, I don't want nobody to be a super soldier, maybe just me. Like, maybe he'll have that. I don't know what his end game is, because his end game has always been weird. Even in Civil War, you expected him to release all those super soldiers, but no, he just wanted none to exist whatsoever. So I find it very interesting and very intrigued of what he's doing. In the process of one of these times he could have left, he decided he gave them the information that they needed to go to Madripoor. So, and I knew nothing about Madripoor when watching this episode. I did a little bit of research before getting on the camera, and I found out that Madripoor is like a X-Men thing. Like, it's a city in X-Men. One of y'all wonderful nerds out there, one of y'all swag team members, please get in the comment section and explain Madripoor a little bit better than I am to fellow swag team members. But yes, it's an X-Men place, and apparently there was a scene where in the episode where Sam looks up at the sign, and it's for a certain place that our good old Wolverine goes into often in his alter ego, and hides out there. So I find that interesting. So and ever since the Fox merger, Disney has been and Kevin Feige and Marvel have been putting in X-Men references and stuff like that throughout these TV shows, as in WandaVision with with Quicksilver, and now with X-Men. But this was like more of just strictly X-Men, not representing the Fox X-Men characters, you know what I mean, but just X-Men in general. So I thought that was cool. And now we find where Sharon's been this whole time. Sharon Carter finally makes her appearance in the show, and something's off about Sharon. I mean, not only is she upset, we find out, like, because she, as well as, you know, how the Avengers was on the run, but she had to stay on the run because she didn't get parted, because she didn't come back, you know, into the fight during Endgame or any of that nature. She was off in Madripoor that whole time, and she didn't get pardoned for what she did, the treason she committed to, you know, the world, for giving Cap his shield and Sam his wings. So he got pardoned, but she didn't get pardoned because she didn't save any planets, you know what I mean? So she's been over there in Madripoor for this longest time, and I'm starting to believe, especially after what takes place a little bit later, that she might be the power broker. I'm not like, once she got in the car, I was like, man, she might be the power broker, which would not be a big surprise to me, just because basically they've done this already with Callie being the leader of the Flag Smashers. You thought it was a guy in the first episode, then it turns out that it was this female, this innocent female. And, you know, Sharon used to be a hero, but now she doesn't believe in heroes. She's like, you know, the whole hero thing is just a joke, right, to Sam. And I'm like, wow, that's how you feel? You know what I mean? She's totally changed, and even Bucky's even perplexed by it and brings up, he's like, she's kind of awful now, you know what I mean? So I was like, man, she's changed a lot, and I'm beginning to feel that she might be the power broker, especially in the fact she knew exactly where the guy that created the secret serum was and everything. But maybe she just has great intel. But who is that intel? And is she the power broker, or is she some other thing in play? Still don't know. We know that apparently Zemo has never met the power broker. That's one thing. And another thing that may lean to her being the power broker is when they first get to Madripoor, there's like a sign that they point to that's a segment of the city that they point to, and it says power broker is watching multiple times on this wall. Then all of a sudden, the first thing you see is Sharon throwing her hood, like doing the little hood smooth out thing, the spy get out of the way card thing that she did. And I was like, You know, that could be foreshadowing. This is the power broker. Hello, she's right here. Hello. So if she is, and I was more than sorry, but I don't know if she is. I'm just speculating, you know. But of course, I'm speculating with responsibility. But I feel like it may be her. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Another thing that may have given this away, which I during this whole Madripoor scene, I love that everybody had their own little identity they had to be. And of course, Bucky had to be the Winter Soldier again, and Zemo was just being him. It wasn't hard for him. And and Sam had to be this guy named Smiling Tiger, you know what I'm saying? And just because he looks similar, you know what I mean? And I thought that was funny. And before they meet the lady that would give them the information about possibly where the guy that made the serum was at before meeting Sharon, because I got a little ahead of myself. They acted out him being Winter Soldier, and he was like, Winter Soldier attack, and then he went in, like he started kicking their ass real hard, you know what I'm saying? And he started kicking their ass real hard, you know what I'm saying? And I thought it was interesting. And Zemo's back at his breaking teams up ways again, because he goes to Sam and he's all like, it was easy for him to get back into it, isn't it? It's kind of interesting how easy it was to get back into it. I'm like, don't make Sam look at him side-eyed, man. You're trying to break them up. I see you. I know what you're doing here, because you do it easily. You do it well. The other thing that may have given the power broker eyes at Sharon is because someone shoots Shelby straight through the chest after Sam has the act like Tiger's Smiling Tiger, but he gets a phone call because he left his damn phone on. Come on, Sam. Really, Sam? You'll leave your phone on right now in this moment? So yes, he has to answer the phone, and he's all like, he has to answer it in speaker. I was like, damn. And it was his sister. I'm like, damn. And she's talking, but he almost had it. He was this close. He was saying the right things and playing it the right way. But then all of a sudden, the son dropped some Cheerios in there, her son, and she had to say something to him. And then she calls him Sam, and that's the thing that gave it away. She's like, Sam, who's Sam? Kill them. And then all of a sudden, as soon as she says kill them, somebody pops Shelby right through the chest. You know what I'm saying? A lady that was giving them the information about where that dude was pops her through the chest, and then all of a sudden they got a $1 billion bounty that goes to everybody because the power broker is watching. But who else would have shot her through the chest other than Sharon? It's obviously Sharon, especially on the fact that the next few minutes when they're getting shot at when they come down, she's the one shooting people, and then she comes down. So like a sniper, and the only person that shot Shelby was a sniper. So, but she's acting like she didn't shoot her. I think she's the power broker. Y'all can tell me who y'all think Sharon. If y'all think Sharon's a whole different other idea, I'm very curious of what y'all think. Let me know in the comment section below, please. But yes, so after they get the intel about where that dude is, you know, from Sharon, because Sharon has the ways, and I thought it was interesting that the only reason Sharon decided to help is because Sam convinced her that he could get her a pardon, because if the Winter Soldier, with all his Terminator-ness, killed people and still got a pardon just because he's more sane now, you know what I mean? And of course he helped with the end game, unlike Sharon, then why can't you, is what he basically pitched. And she accepted and got the intel from a very reliable source, power broker. And so they go down, they found out, and then we find out that the guy knew that old school black super soldier that we met in the second episode, and that the blood that he was being taken out of from Hydra, he got a hold of. And also he worked during the Winter Soldier days in the Hydra, this scientist. Then he goes to the CIA, and that's where he finds Isaiah's blood, and he gets that, and he manages to make a super serum that doesn't give you super muscles, it just makes you super in the mind or something somehow, and I guess as well as strong, but you don't have your muscles don't get bigger, but your brain gets bigger. I found it interesting that he managed, you know, that's what his serum that he adapted from the old school serum that makes your body built as well, more jacked and ripped. it makes your mind rip, but you also still have the power and the superhuman ability of a super soldier. So I thought that was interesting. That means anybody can be a super soldier without changing their appearance. So I find that interesting. I don't know necessarily if everybody, or you end up looking maybe like Fat Thor. Who knows? But of course, Zemo found that interesting as well. Found the gun and popped man straight through the chest. So he will not be making any more Soldier Serum. And it seems like everybody makes Super Soldier Serum. Jesus Christ. Super Soldier Serum. Try and say that 3 times fast. Gets shot in the chest. And gets shot in some kind of way where you can't do it anymore. So I was like, man, that's crazy. So after that, this is what made me say it while watching the episode, that she might be the power broker. She decides not to leave with them because, like I said, for some reason Zemo keeps leaving off and coming back. He got his famous mask before they left. He checked out his cars, got his famous mask, put his mask on, and kicks some ass, which is very interesting. I didn't know he could fight. I guess you're gonna maybe explain that, or maybe we just not worried about it. It's cool. I'm not too much worried about it. I like this new Zemo, and I love where this is going. I'm just curious what Zemo's big motivation is, what he's trying to do overall. But he decides to stay because he could have left again. He could have left multiple times. He could have left when he shot dude. He could have left after he kicked all those people's ass. But he got a car and he took the boys and it was about to go. But Sharon was like, get my pardon. I can't go with back to the States with y'all. I gotta stay here. So she stays, but then she meets up with this lady and gets in the back. So she's still like high up there in some kind of boss-like level. And she's like, we got a number of problems. I'll tell you about them later. And I'm like, something's not right about you, and I don't know what it is, but hopefully we'll find out in the next episode. So, and this is about the power broker, but we never see the power broker, or did we? You know what I mean? This whole episode, never seen it, but did we? You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting. So then they find out about this lady, that Callie, because we go to the Flag Smashers, and first we find out a little bit backstory about both of the two of the Flag Smashers. One, he wanted to do one thing, but he ended up staying in Madripoor as a hit for hire, I believe is what he said from what I remember. And she always wanted to be a teacher. She always wanted to be a teacher. And she ended up in Madripoor, and that's how they ended up meeting these two Flag Smashers, the leader and this guy, right? And they're at this GRC place trying to raid it to get supplies, you know what I mean, and take these supplies to people in need again, because the GRC is not giving the people in need. At least that's what this is what this episode's making it seem. But like I said, not everything is as it seems. That's what this whole episode is about, in my opinion. So we see another scene with them, and they've raided it out. They beat up this guy, and this guy seems douchey. He's like talking junk to the Flag Smashers. She was like, y'all had all these supplies and you're not giving the right people, whatever. So then she decides not to take this one car that's like right beside the building, and then she tells the guy that she's with, go ahead and put your seatbelt on. And he's like, what? And then boom, she ends up killing these people. And he was like, there's people in there. He realized he might not be in the right squad, just like Battlestar looking at John like, man, might not be part of the right squad. But it's like, she's like, this is the only way people will listen. And he's like, okay, whatever you say. I ain't trying to get that treatment, you know what I mean, that those people just got. So I find that interesting. This whole episode, like I said, is all about everything not being right. It seems, because we think that she's a good person, but is she a good person? She just blew up a lot of people. The reason she blew up a lot of people because she's hurting, because the lady that means a whole lot to her died earlier in the episode that we saw. She was laying in that bed, and she had spoke to her for her last time, and she passed away. And I guess apparently the scientist that came up with the Soldier Serum met Callie, and Callie wanted to ask him to, give it to that lady so she could survive the new serum he came up with. And the only reason he didn't make the serum a while ago because the blip happened, he got dusted, and then he came back. You know, they the power broker recruited him to make serum, you know, for the masses. But Callie ended up stealing it from him because he wouldn't help. She ended up stealing it from him instead, and then now that's why power broker is after her, because she stole 20 vials. She's given 8 of them away, so I guess that's 12 left, and she does still have them because, like I said before, this whole stealing it from the GRC, stealing these supplies from the GRC, she tells that dude during the getting to know them better scene that the power broker lost all the other vials, so he's going to be definitely wanting these. So I was like, interesting, very interesting. So it sets up this episode, the next episode, very well. But what happens after Zemo and them get back on the plane, Sam calls Torres and asks him to find out about that lady. And then they of course find out the lady dies, but that leads Zemo to knowing exactly where to go. And he's like, I got a place that we can go. So they switch course and go straight to where they can find out more about what's up with that lady. But then all of a sudden we see Sam's looking down and noticing stuff on the ground while they're walking. And he ends up telling Sam, go ahead, I need to take a walk or whatever. He's like, you okay? He's like, yeah, I just need to take a walk. I'll be right back with y'all. And I guess Sam is starting to trust Bucky and Zemo more, because he's leaving him with Zemo and he's just walking with Zemo, and he's like just accepting that for what it is. So I find that interesting. So with that being the case, I feel like Sam's trusting Bucky more, but they're still not on the same page, because back when they was fighting to get away from all those assassins that was coming, while they was talking to dude about the scientists about the soldier serum, they didn't fight together. So they're still not fighting together, but at least they're coming together more and more each episode, and they're trusting each other more, especially Sam for Bucky. But what we come to find out, that these little things he was looking at on the ground are Wakanda beads. And he walks around another corner, and he's like, you dropped this. And then they do this great look this way, look that way, look this way. And he's like, I knew you would be here. And then all of a sudden, we see Wakanda in the building, baby. We see Ari from Civil War. I think her name's Ari, but her real name is Florence. But we see her live in effect, and it was awesome to see her. I love her, especially in Civil War.
Move, or you will be moved.
When she was talking junk to Black Widow, that was lit. Love her, and she's also like she's the Dora Milaje leader's second hand, she's her main hand. You know what I mean? And I'm forgetting their names. Sorry. I'm just so excited that I got to see her at the end. But then I realized the episode was over. I was like, no. So we gotta wait till next week. But hopefully she has a really active role in the next episode. And I'm loving that Wakanda is within this series, because as we know, Bucky has a strong relationship with Wakanda, becoming the White Wolf and staying there and getting healing, having a calm there. So it's good to see her. But the reason she's there, she says, is she's here for Zemo, because Zemo did kill T'Challa's father. You know what I'm saying? So the original king of Wakanda. So they have some unfinished business for sure, and I can't wait for them to address it in the next episode. But let me know how you feel about episode 3 in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? I liked it. I wish, like I said, there was one good action scene up in there that would have made this even more juicier, but I'm sure we're going to get that in the next episode. But let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Also, if you're new here and you're trying to join the swag team, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, or hit it right here on the pops up on the side. Also, if you want to be the first swag team to see a video on the pops up on the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell to pop right up when you join the swag team. So you hit that subscribe button, then that bell will pop up, you click that ding, then you never miss a video pops up on the channel, whether it's on your computer, cell phone, tablet, whatever. So make sure you do that so you don't miss on any of the swag when it drops. But yes, let me know how you feel about the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 3, the Power Broker, in the comment section below and on the social media sites at the bottom. If you like this review, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It helps with the channel. But if you didn't like it, I ain't tripping. Look at Jordan, I ain't pippin'. And until the next video, I love y'all 3000. I'll holla. Peace.